All right, so finding just some comfort in your back body. I know that when we start, a lot of the times our lower backs are not going to be happy with us stretching our legs out. And so we might just choose to keep them bent. If you keep them bent, you'll also notice that that keeps more of your lower back connected to your earth, just more support. I'd invite you to wiggle around so that your shoulders can relax. Maybe the shoulder blades even tuck under so that you've got a bit of cushion. Move your head a little from side to side, or even pick it up, tuck the chin towards the chest, and then bring it down so that the neck is long. And always the option to close our eyes and to soften our faces. Maybe soften the shoulders, and you just move your awareness down your body, softening belly, hips and butts, all the way down the legs to your feet. Letting yourself settle into your mat. You might notice the different noises in your house this morning. Notice the smells, the temperature of whatever room you're in. Could notice a taste in your mouth. Even though your eyes are closed, a certain amount of light comes through our eyelids. And so you'll just notice what you see. Scan the body and notice how you physically feel today. Your awareness probably naturally goes to the places that might be holding tension or have some sort of injury going on. Check in with yourself mentally or cognitively, just your state of mind. Sometimes our mind is busy. Sometimes it's moves slower. Sometimes it's kind of linear thoughts, and sometimes our thoughts are just bouncing all over the place. Also, check in with your emotional being this morning, noticing how you feel. Recognizing that our physical body, our cognition, our emotions, all of that feeds into where we're at energetically today. Once you've checked in with all these various parts of your own self, you'll draw your awareness to your breath. Almost as though you have made known for your own self where you're at this morning, but then you move it to a side and your breath becomes your focus. Noticing whether breath is shallow or deep. Maybe inhale is longer than exhale or vice versa. If you're having trouble just focusing on breath, remember you can lengthen your breath. Make the belly rise and fall. Or add a count to your breath. Usually the deeper the breath is, the easier it is to attend to it. It requires more of our focus, more of our concentration. As your body breathes, there might be something that stands out for you as far as an intention. Maybe something from within you that lets you know why you're on your mat this morning. If that arises, note it. Set that too on the side and come back to your breath. If your knees aren't bent, go ahead and bend the knees, your feet about hip distance apart. Draw your ankles and your knees towards each other so they touch. And very gently let the knees rock from side to side, nice and slow. Your choice as to how far they move to the side. For my own body, I like to start with just very little side to side movement. And as my lower back is massaged by the earth, my movement naturally gets a little bit bigger. Your shoulders are still soft. Your eyes are probably still closed. There's an awareness of your breath. Next time your knees are passing through the center, let's pause. Move our feet back out so they're hip distance apart. Inhaling to draw the right knee in towards your torso, hands go to that knee. And we'll gently pull that knee right on in towards the chest. And you can either keep your foot relaxed, or you might decide to pull the toes towards the shin, engaging and flexing that leg. As you feel your hamstring lengthen, and maybe even the muscles across the back of the hip, you can hug that knee in a bit closer. And just remembering our practice of the minimum edge or sensation where we first feel sensation. It's as though we pause there. And a lot of the times we even wait for that sensation to move through us, and then we go a little deeper. If you choose not to wait, that's fine, but you're still just aware. We're going to keep our right hand up here, but let's reach it for the outside of that right foot so that we can draw the foot towards the ceiling and come into half of a happy baby. Maybe rock that leg a little side to side in the hip socket. Noticing that your left hip stays anchored to your mat. Sometimes we play with straightening that right leg a little. I'd imagine that our hamstrings are quite tight. So really find your minimum edge. And pull it back into your half of a happy baby. Let the foot come down, the right ankle to the left knee. Right hand to your right side, push that leg away from you. Good, we'll cross that leg all the way over then so that your legs are completely crossed. Roll your shoulders back. Let's find a T with our arms. And let our knees drop to the left. And again, they don't have to drop all the way over. It's up to you how far to the side you're gonna go. But notice that your right shoulder stays connected. And if you want, turn your head to the right. If your head is turned, then inhale will bring it back to the middle. Next inhale brings your legs back to the middle. Your exhale will then cross them, both feet to the earth, hip distance apart. Inhaling, left knee comes in, your hands move to the knee, gently pulling it in towards your torso. Just nice and slow, letting your hamstring gently move into the stretch. As it lengthens, or as the muscles across the back of that hip lengthen, certainly you can pull in a little tighter or maybe flex your foot. We're going for a half of a happy baby. So the left hand to the outside of your left foot, the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Your right hip anchored to your earth. And if you want, you play with straightening even just the tiniest bit. Take one more breath. Following exhale, we'll bring that left foot down the ankle to the right knee. The left hand to your left thigh so you can press that thigh bone away. Almost like you could create just a tiny bit of space in that left hip. Nice. Let that leg cross all the way over. Get your arms out to your giant T to keep your shoulders connected. Breath in, and a breath out, I'll drop your knees to the right. If you want, your gaze turns to the left. Couple big breaths. Inhaling head to the center. Inhaling knees to the center. Exhaling to uncross those legs, both feet on the earth. Pick your butt up a little, scooch it towards your heels so you get your lower back connected. Then bring your hands up to the base of your head. Let your elbows drop out and open. And for some of us, this will be a stretch, like across the chest or the armpits. Just laying here will be a stretch. Engage your core, belly button, solar plexus towards the spine. Using an inhale, lift the shoulders, lift the head. Tuck the chin towards the chest. And just feel the lower back connected to the earth. Of course, we're working core too, but we're focused on lower back connected. Okay, keep breathing. Maybe up a little bit higher. Breath in, breath out, lowers the shoulders, the head, drops those elbows all the way out and open again. We're gonna lift back up, so core engaged. Inhaling to come up. This time bring your hands up and down alongside your torso. Nice job. Let's see if you can get your shoulders a little higher, but your back body pushed down a little bit more into the earth. Nice job. Breath in, breath out, lower your shoulders, your head, and relax your neck. Let your head turn to the right and back to the center, to the left, and back to the center, maybe back and forth a couple times if it needs. Head back at the center, core engaged. Inhale to lift up again. And this time, let's bend our arms like up towards our torso a little. As you lift up higher, you're gonna bend towards like the right and reach that left hand over towards the knee. Come back to the center. Lift up and over to the left. Right hand crosses over like towards the outside of your left knee. Bring it back down into the center. Up and over to the right, left arm reaches across, back to the middle, other side. We're gonna go from side to side just a few more times, getting that twist with the core engaged. If your head gets heavy and your neck needs support, of course you could use your hands to support your head and then point with the elbow instead of the arm. Nice job. We've got one more time on each side. When we meet, we're gonna meet just back and down. Core soft, butt relaxed, hips relaxed. Bringing our hands then beneath our hips, palms down. Let's inhale to bring the knees up and in. And then inhale to straighten the legs to the ceiling. And pull the toes towards the shin, point the toes towards the ceiling, back and forth, and then roll the feet around like you're rolling your ankles. And notice here your lower belly in particular, it's having to be engaged to keep those legs up. Nice job. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, bend the knees and find like 90-degree angles with your legs. Nice job. And just hold it. Belly button in. You're going to take your right foot, your leg stays in that 90-degree bend at the knee, but slowly bring the right toe down, touching the earth, and then lifting that leg back up. Left leg comes down, toes touch. Perhaps your inhale brings it up. Your exhale brings your right toes down. Inhaling up, exhaling left toes. And as you keep going, what you're really aware of is how that belly button and solar plexus are tucking down and into the ground. And it's your hip flexor that's opening up and coming back closed or closer to closed, rather than your legs straightening for the movement to happen. I hope that makes sense. Good, let's do one more time each side. When we meet, our legs are going to have that 90-degree angle. Our core still engaged. Inhale to straighten those legs, pull the toes towards the shin. Point the toes towards the ceiling, toes towards the shins, and then roll those ankles again. And roll them both ways. Feels really weird, at least for me, to go both ways. I'm super good at just one way. Good, bending your knees, bring them back to the earth. And tuck your hands if you've got them tucked, soften your belly. We'll inhale, pull the knees into the chest, hands to the knees. Maybe we rock a little side to side. Or circle the knees, whatever you do to release the lower back a little bit. Nice. Feet to the earth, hip distance apart. Bend your elbows right beside your torso. Tuck your shoulder blades. We're setting up for a bridge. When you're ready, let an inhale lift your hips up. Your exhale, lower your hips towards the earth. Inhaling to lift the hips. Exhaling to lower. Keep going, you're just going up and down with your breath. Your choice as to whether you hover the hips at the bottom or you let them relax all the way down to the ground. Just depends how much I suppose you want to work. Maybe you play with how high your hips will go with your inhale. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just let it be a moving, connected with the breath, just flowing of the hips up and down. Two more breaths. Bottom of that second breath, let your hips come down. Undo your shoulders just so they're relaxed and soft. Arms out like a giant T, knees dropping to the right. Maybe your gaze turns to the left again. Notice shoulders soft. Head back to the middle. Inhale, knees to the middle. Exhale, knees to the left. Exhale, head to the right. Inhale, head to the middle. Inhale, knees to the middle. One more thing down here. We're gonna pull our legs back to the 90-degree angle, but keep our arms out like that giant T. And of course, to get your legs up, I know you know this, but reminder, core is engaged. Okie doke. So we're gonna add a movement. Our core, seriously engaged, is gonna allow our knees to drop over to the right, and it doesn't have to go all the way down, not even close actually. And then our knees will come to the middle. Your exhale will drop your knees to the left, all the way to the middle. Exhale, knees to the right, all the way to the middle. Exhale to the left. Inhale, middle. Again to the right, to the middle, to the left, to the middle, back to the right, but this time let them come towards the earth. Drop your feet to the earth so you're back in that spinal twist. Perhaps your top leg, your left leg straightens. Trying to keep that left shoulder down. If top leg is straight, bend it. Keep your feet on the earth, but let your knees come to the middle. Then let's pick the feet up back to 90, just so we can drop over to the left. All the way, you're twisting, trying to keep that right shoulder grounded. Maybe top leg straight. Awesome, if leg is straight, bend it. You're keeping feet on the earth, bringing those knees back to the middle. Knees into the chest, hands to the knees, rock a little side to side. Let that lower back, the hips be massaged by your mat, by the earth. And then we'll rock front to back so we can come on up. And actually all the way up and over so we meet on all fours. Knees under our hips, hands under our shoulders, our core, of course, engaged. Keeping spine stable, let's tuck the tailbone and lift the tailbone. Just rotating our hips forward and back. Anterior, posterior rotation of the hips or the pelvis. Nice down breath of your spine, nice and steady. Then let the hips wiggle side to side. Back to center, take a breath in, use the exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, and let the whole entire spine find your cat. Inhaling, tailbone lifts or collarbone opens for your cow. Exhale, back to cat. Inhaling to cow. Couple more times, back and forth. Nice. When you're coming back through neutral, let's pause. Drop our elbows to the earth so they're right under our shoulders. Maybe your hands wave together. Maybe you just plant your palms on the ground, whatever's more comfortable. But tuck your tailbone here, tuck your chin, arch the back so you're back to cat. Then lift your tailbone, open your throat, your collarbone like you're in a cow. Back to cat. Inhaling to cow. One more time. We'll meet at a neutral, down here still on our elbows. Stretching our left leg out behind us, toes on the ground. Just push that heel back towards the wall or whatever is behind you. Notice that your hips are level. Notice that your core is engaged and keeping you here. Nice, drop that knee to the earth, back under your hip. Right leg will reach out, toes on the ground, push that heel back. Hips level. Breath in, breath out will bring your knee back down so it's under your hips. Spread your knees out and send your butt back towards your heels so you can find your child's pose. Forehead is either towards the earth or on our stacked hands. If you have a block at home, you could also put that underneath your forehead. That would actually feel really good. Perhaps your arms are pushing your butt back towards your heels, or they're totally soft or wrapped around your legs so the shoulders can relax. Just feeling breath. If your arms are wrapped around your legs, let's bring them forward. We're gonna inhale to come up to tabletop. Rock over our knees to low plank. And then gently let your thighs come towards the earth a little bit. Bend your elbows in order to let your belly come down, your chest come down, all the way down so your forehead comes down. Let your body soften. Your hands are right at mid-chest level. Pull the elbows in, roll the shoulder blades back and down. Using an inhale, lift the head and the heart. You're letting the chest lift like up towards cobra, pushing with the arms to get your belly up, your hips up, your knees, your thighs. Come on back, like roll all the way back through cat, all the way back to your child's pose, and relax. Next inhale, come back, up through tabletop, over the knees like a low plank. Let your thighs move towards the earth. Your hips, your shoulders are back and down away from your ears. You're slowly lowering through your belly, down to your chest, forehead down, softening. Roll your shoulders back, tuck your elbows in, engage your core. Inhaling to lift the head and the heart and the chest. Your arms are helping as needed to get your belly, your hips up. You're moving back through tabletop to cat, all the way back and down to child's pose, where you'll soften. One more time. Inhale, come up through tabletop. Exhaling as you let the thighs move towards the earth and the hips, the chest, all the way down so your forehead meets your mat. Elbows in, shoulders back and down, core engaged. Use your inhale. You're peeling yourself up from the head all the way through the hips, the thighs, back through tabletop, into cat, down to child's pose. This time, wrap your arms around your legs if you'd like. Soften the shoulders. Take some breaths. Arms come forward if they're wrapped around your legs. Inhale, come on up to tabletop. Get your knees under your hips if they're not. Let's stretch that left leg back out, toes on the ground, your heel presses back. Good, let that right foot come out, be your kickstand if you want, but you're gonna roll the left leg down, stack the hips, stack the shoulders, left hand to your left hip. Nice, let's pull it into a half moon. So your core is already engaged. You're just gonna use it to lift that leg up so it's level with your hip. Awesome job. Maybe that, awesome. You're on it, that top arm to the ceiling. Nice job. If your arm is up, bring your arm up, leave your leg up, or bring your arm down, leg up. Take a breath in, and then exhale, bend that knee, but keep the leg up. I suppose if you're feeling extra bendy, you could roll that top shoulder back, see if you can catch your foot. And this would be like I think this is a ribbon, a low ribbon. Some people do this standing. Good, if you've got your foot, release. Foot to the earth, unstack your hips, your shoulders, come back to all fours. Good job. Right leg is back, toes on the earth. You're pressing the heel back. Kicking your left leg out if you need it for your little kickstand so you can roll, stack the hips, stack the shoulders. Core is engaged. You're going to use that core to pick your leg up, level with your hip, arm to the ceiling if you wish, and you've got your half moon. Nice big breaths. Lots of strength here to balance. Good, if top arm is up, bring it to the hip. Keep your leg up though. Bending the knee. We're setting up for ribbon. If we want the extension of the pose, we're gonna roll the shoulder back, try to catch our foot, our pants, whatever is back there. Keeping that knee though, level with our hip. Good, if you've got your foot, let go, leg is up, take a breath in. Exhale, leg down. Unstack your hips and stack your shoulders. Come back to all fours. Let's send our butt back towards our heels and find our child's pose. Nice big breaths. Maybe your weight shifts side to side in your hips. Checking out lower back. And notice what you're feeling in the rest of your body. Notice if maybe legs are looking for a stretch or shoulders are looking for a stretch. A lot of the times when we're practicing on our own, it is our body that's going to really guide us. It's going to tell us where to go. Of course, it tells us how far we go, right? Like if we stretch a little or a lot, we listen to that. If your arms are wrapped around the legs, bring them forward. Let's inhale, come on up to tabletop. Knees under our hips if they're not, tuck our toes. Take a breath in. With the exhale, lift your knees and your hips up and back to down dog. And let those feet slowly pedal. Let each heel have its opportunity to reach towards the earth. Let the back of those legs lengthen. Interestingly, as you get the hips up and back, and you keep the ears between the upper arms, you're also getting that length in the shoulders. That's, for some people, quite a stretch in the shoulders, especially if your shoulders are like big and bulky. The shorter your muscles are, which we equate with stronger, the harder it is to stretch in this way. Arms just don't want to go alongside the ears. Nice, maybe you're on and off your toes a couple times. Maybe you're actually lifting a leg to the ceiling. Whatever you want to do here, stretching those legs. Eventually meeting down dog so that we can walk our hands to our feet or our feet to our hands. We'll meet in our forward fold. Chin tucked in. Knees bent according to the back body. So we want our belly connected. It helps protect the lower back. But if you can keep your belly connected and have straight legs, awesome, good for you. Next, inhale, slide yourself halfway up, create your flat back. Exhaling, fold. Relax your torso again, your shoulders in particular. Bending your knees. Bring your arms out like giant wings. Use an inhale and hinge the hips. Lift up. Reach up with those arms. Stay up, but drop the shoulders. Feel your feet connected to your earth, like you're grounding down. Maybe even lengthen the torso, like rock a little bit side to side. You're trying to get extra length for your torso. And then pause back in the middle. Tall mountain. Take a breath in. Use your exhale, let your arms float down. Roll those shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back and down. Inhale them up towards the ears, exhale them back and down. One more time, inhale up to the ears. Exhale back and down, and now let's inhale, roll them up to the ears. Exhale, roll them forward and down. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down, and then inhale up. Exhale back and down. Roll those shoulders back a little bit more. Inhaling, we'll lift our arms to the ceiling, get long through the torso. Exhaling, bend the knees, hinge the hips, find your forward fold, tuck your chin in. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, arms out like wings all the way up. We're just gonna do some half sun salutation. Exhaling, your torso bends to the right. Maybe you grab that left wrist with the right arm. And it is like a little pull on that wrist, trying to get this left side just a tiny bit longer. Other people drop their right arm down alongside their body. Nice. Next inhale, come to the center. Exhale, you're bending to the left. Maybe you grab that right wrist, or maybe you drop the arm down alongside your body. Inhale, come to the middle. Exhale, rock back a little bit. Your core stays engaged, but it's like your heart lifts to the ceiling. Maybe your throat opens. Inhale to the center. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge your hips, come back to your forward fold, chin it. Inhaling halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms out like wings. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling to take your bend to the right. Inhaling, center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, rock it back. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Chin in. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, arms out like wings. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, palms together, down to heart. Awesome. You can either keep hands at heart or drop them down alongside you, but we're going to get all of our weight into our right foot. So we can pull that left knee up, core engaged, and you're just holding it up. Maybe your toes on that left leg are pulling in towards your shin. Your shoulders stay back regardless of where your hands are at. Good. Keep your foot up off the ground, but bring your knee so that it's pointing towards the earth. Pull your foot towards your butt. Roll that left shoulder back and down. See if you can catch your foot again. This is dancer's pose. And that knee just points down, just like you're standing. Maybe right arm lengthens to the ceiling. Belly's in. I suppose if you're really after it this morning, you could come to your toes as the bottom foot. Nice job. If arm is still up, bring it down. Undo. Left hand with left foot. Pull that knee forward again though, so that it's up level with your hip. Toes towards the shin. Notice bottom leg is probably getting tired. Maybe wiggle those toes on the bottom foot. Notice how they help keep you balanced. Breath in, breath out to drop the left foot to the earth. Shake out the right. And find again your mountain pose. Your hands can be at heart, they can be beside you, they could be on your hips, wherever. All of our weight into our left foot. Our core is engaged and it's gonna pull that right knee up. And here you do wanna check that your hips stay level. This helps strengthen all these little muscles in our hips. Nice job. So leg is gonna stay up, but you're gonna shift it so that your knee points down. Pull your right heel in towards your butt. Roll your right shoulder back and down. Reach with your hand. Try to grab your foot of your pants. Nice job. And you've got your dancer's pose, right? Like level hips. You're pulling the heel towards your butt, and that pull helps roll that right shoulder back and down. Maybe your left arm is up alongside your ear. And maybe you come to the toes of the bottom foot. Feeling the strength in that bottom leg, the strength in your core to keep yourself balanced, and the concentration to do so. Good. If top arm is up alongside your ear, bring it back down. Let go of your foot, but let that knee come forward again. Toes towards your shin. Nice level hips. Nice bottom toes, really letting you know that they're helping you stay balanced. Breath in, breath out to bring both feet to the earth. Left leg might shake out. Nice. Let's get our feet a little wider than our hips, and Linda went there right away. Listening to the body. The body usually wants to twist or to kind of swing around, shake out after that. Maybe the arms even shake. Coming back to the center, pull the feet so they're back under the hips. Bend the knees a little. Let's bring our hands to our hips just so that we can feel our hips hinge as we come down to our forward fold. Once our hips are all the way hinged, then we can drop the arms, let the back body bend, tuck the chin in. Feeling the length in the spine. Maybe wiggle a little, extra length for the torso. Depending on where you're at on your mat, you're either gonna walk your hands forward to a down dog, or you're gonna step your feet back to a down dog. But let's meet in down dog. Hips high, hips back. A couple big breaths. Inhaling and exhaling to drop the knees to the earth. Nice job. Let your hips wiggle side to side. If you feel like you need a couple more cat-cows, you'll tuck the tailbone and tuck the chin. Maybe your hips want circles. This is a great place for you to just check in and see what your body is asking for, still needing. And back to neutral, all fours. Gonna step hands forward and bring your ears down between your upper arms. This is your low down dog. You'll notice that your hips are right over your knees. You choose either to stay here or to transition into puppy pose, which just means chest moves to the earth and your chin or your forehead connects with your mat. And it's interesting, here it's important that your core is still engaged, but you want your shoulders to relax. You want them to be able to slide towards each other on the back body. Good. If you're in puppy pose, Lift back up, low down dog. Walk your hands so they're back under your shoulders. Tuck your chin, move the crown of the head towards the earth, so it's just pointing towards the earth. And you might stay right here, or you might bend the elbows and draw the crown of the head straight to the earth. Your hips are still over your knees, but potentially you can walk those knees towards the head and keep the hips over the knees. Your arms might lengthen alongside your body, or even weave them together, the fingers together around the head. So your elbows are bent, but you're finding rabbit. And the spine is reaching to the ceiling. Your chin is all the way tucked in. This is one of these poses that's an inversion. You're upside down. This is like doing a headstand for your nervous system. Remember, when our chin's tucked, it pinches that vagus nerve, which is just a nerve in our neck running down the length of the spine. And when it's pinched, it triggers a relaxation response. It slows everything down. Heart rate, respiration rate. We're taking one more breath here. And then letting our butt fall down towards our heels and finding child's pose. Maybe your legs separate a little. Move your hands so they're right in front of the knees. Press down with the arms in order to get your torso up. Swing your feet one way or another so you can roll around to your butt. Perhaps you have to scoop forward on your mat so you've got room to lie down. But we're headed back to our back bodies, same place we started our practice. All the way to the earth. Knees bent. Pulling them in towards the torso, hands to the knees. As you hug your knees in, notice whether your knees come all the way together or they have to stay apart. And I'm thinking particularly like the IT band on the outside of your thighs. Sometimes if that's really short, it's not going to let our knees come together here. It's going to try to keep them apart. And that's fine. It's just awareness. We're checking things out. Maybe you're rocking, or maybe you're circling the knees. You could even move to happy baby if that serves your body well. Wind reliever. Any last bit of releasing that you know your body would appreciate before you stretch out for Shavasana or corpse pose. When you are ready to stretch out, of course, those feet will just drop. Maybe there's a little windshield wiper or hip rocking before you stretch out. Eventually, though, we'll find that place where our legs are extended. Note, though, your knees can stay bent if that's more appropriate for lower back. Keep them bent. Your shoulders, though, will maybe tuck under, or they'll wiggle around until they can find a comfy spot. Your eyes will close. And you'll be in this space that's familiar to you as far as the pose, with an intention to relax. Which we've all been practicing long enough to know that at times this is the hardest part of our hour. Sometimes our mind gets busy. Sometimes our body just feels antsy. We acknowledge that. And then we purposely shift our awareness to breath, lengthening, inhale. And exhaling so that our exhale is even longer than the inhale. Complete exhale. If we can't sleep at night, we know that elongated exhale is helpful. Helps our nervous system move again into that rest and digest state. Another thing we could do is change the breath to the 4-7-8 breath, which is just an inhale to the count of 4, holding your breath to the count of 7, and then that giant exhale to the count of 8. I'm going to guide us through that breath just a few times. If you want to move along with it, go for it. If you'd rather just breathe and relax, do what serves you. Exhaling, let your breath all the way out. And then inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Holding. Exhale. Regular breath. You only want to do 3 or 4 of these 4-7-8 breaths at a time, just so that you don't hyperventilate. Again, let's let our breath go all the way out. And inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale, holding the breath. And exhaling. Regular breath. Relaxed body. Relaxed mind. So I'll bring awareness back to the breath. And we'll lengthen the inhale. Lengthen the exhale. And when you're ready to find a little movement, your fingers and your toes will wiggle. Your head will maybe move side to side. If your body needs one last stretch, an inhale will bring the arms to the ceiling. The exhale down alongside your ears. Just stretching one last stretch. And then bending your knees. Shifting your hips one way or the other so that your knees can fall. And rolling to the side body. Maybe your bottom arm wiggles under your ears so you've got a little pillow. Positioning your top arm so that it's at mid-chest level. You can pick the chest up, slide that other arm under and let the arms push you up. Coming all the way up and around back to a seated position. Eyes closed when you get there. Feeling still the relaxed body, relaxed mind. Using an inhale to pull the palms together to tuck the thumbs in at your heart. Perhaps the chin moves towards the chest. Maybe you check in again with your body, with your mind, both thoughts and emotions, with that awareness that what you think and what you feel, both emotionally and physically, all of that contributes to your energy. And the energy in me, it honors the energy in you. Namaste.